Oh my. Thanks for sticking in for the long waiting live. Yeah, I know. Live a little late here. Got some weird news. I'm not going to go into detail of it, but I maybe have to move. You guys know I just moved like not that long ago, a year and change. Might have to move by April. I just got a message and it was like April 1st. I'm not like getting evicted or anything. It's just like long, uninteresting, not really detailed filled story, kind of out of nowhere. So literally at like 12:55, I got this message. Like I was in the bathroom about to go live after I got out and like got this message. Had to deal with that for a little bit. Did not obviously completely deal with it. Got a lot more to do, but hey, it's time to go live. I was so hyped. I had like such good energy. I was like, yeah, things are going up. Nothing's dumping today. It's a little turnaround from the last weeks of crappery. And that energy is going to be a little bit harder to salvage here. Going to be harder to rebound from this. Oh gosh, stream looks all right. My worst nightmare is that the stream here is like now going to mess up after all that. Okay, now it's good. It is all right. We're good. Not the best intro. Sorry, but we're here. Let me get focused back in. Had a long weekend. Visited a fellow YouTuber. Took a little trip over the weekend. Visited our homie, one of our good friends on this channel, Tyler S. Crypto. Great dude. It was awesome to meet him in person. We just hung out, chatted. Nothing crazy. It was a great time. It's time to lock back in and not think about where I have to move. And no, I hate moving, man. It is the worst. The only thing worse, though, than moving is Bitcoin and markets in general and how crappy they have been. We have some hopium here. The title is Big Bounce. We could use a big bounce. Bounce on D's. Bitcoin at 70K. Actually, let's start right here. Not really the highlight of a lot of the episodes lately, as it's been uninteresting, but this low time frame looking pretty good. Now our low, just about 60K, is still holding from the 5th. It's not bad. It's not bad. This price seems a little random. I think it's just under 60K, or it's just 60K. 50, yeah, like 60K perfect maybe. Kind of a random number. Doesn't seem to fit in with any kind of macro analysis, anything. But there is one thing. You'll notice this white line here, and it is not gibberish. It's something that we have been watching, waiting for, actually, I want to say for like a year now. And we actually use this exact analysis to help us confirm the previous bear market low. My hope that this would be the bear market low on this line again. Maybe not the best confidence, but something. It's something here, you know. There's not a lot of other reason to have looked at this price, and the price action since, even though we're not so back quite yet, tapping on 71.7 here, looks pretty good. This is actually much better than the last time we looked at this, the last time we left this chart. What we can see is a pretty clear push by buyers, by the bulls. Demand hitting into that 71.6 line. Doesn't really matter where you put this. 71.5, 71.6 is probably about the right answer. But what we see here is a resistance that is being tested over and over and over again at a horizontal price, at the same price. This is what we like to see. We have not seen much of this over the last few months with Bitcoin. Multiple tests of this same price. Buyers coming in, pushing in price. Sellers battling them, keeping it down under 71.6, but slowly and surely making progress to the upside. We can see our lows coming up, 1, 2, 3 lows here. And into today, even looks like, again, another test of 71.5. This can continue, of course, break out, go higher, or this same pattern can just boringly drag on. As long as our lows are coming up, this is a pattern that is looking to retrace higher. First, I'm going to go over the low here, and then we'll look at the potential higher retracement levels, where price is likely to go. I'll give you a hint. Give you a little hint. Where are we at? There we go. Give you a little hint. It's the same hint as last week. Oh, I didn't catch that. We'll have to look at this chart second. I'm going to bring this over. A little spice there on the low. Maybe an extra piece of confluence that we're looking for at least a more sustained bounce than we've seen. We'll put it at that. We'll put it at that. So yes, this low here, we're about to jump into the alpha, this awesome info, the best of the best hopium. As we do this, I need you to right now hit the like button. Just tap it. Push the like button. It's easy. It's free. Some people just like can't do it. I don't know why. And you need to evaluate your lives. Where did you go wrong? What happened to you? Who hurt you? Hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe as well. Join the fam. Put a message in the chat. Engage with the live stream, because I know today is not the spiciest of days for anyone but me right now. But we can still show YouTube that we're enjoying the stream and try to get into the algorithm and have more new people join us. So continue. I should put up a poll. Someone give me a good idea for a poll. Subscribe, like, engage, you know. So this is the hopium line. The hopium line is beautiful. It is beautiful. There is a beauty to mathematics and charting. This is a logarithmic chart, so by definition, this is a logarithmic line. Though it does look just like a straight linear line on this chart, it is actually a curved line in reality. In real linear charts, it would be curved. It doesn't look like anything when you put it on regular because it refits it. But this is a logarithmic chart, and it extends all the way back to 2017 at $1,700 in July. Long before many people who are watching this right now got into Bitcoin, and long after, actually, many of you. Right in the middle of history. And it extends out to the bear market bottom in 2018. This line we have watched on this channel for a very long time because, well, it worked. I guess it worked. Maybe that's why. In the last bear market, we saw this exact trend line lead to the low. To the low of price, right around 15.5. We did trade a little bit underneath it, but for pretty much all the purpose, it was an amazing indicator of a bounce. Even March, during COVID, we can see trading below it, but if you look on a weekly time frame, you'll find the candles did not close below it, and buyers came in. So what we can kind of assume from this line is that there are buyers here. There are likely buyers at this level, and we're seeing that. We have a little bounce already. There was no bounce previous to this line. Now we're hearing prices at least stop the bleeding. We can put it that way. And this line extends out all the way to exactly price action on Friday. Pretty amazing, if you ask me, considering if we look to recent or even non-recent price history, we just don't find a lot that would suggest kind of a 60K bounce. We can zoom out here a little bit. You look to the left on, let's take the weekly time frame. There's just not a lot going on at this level. We have had some very efficient price action in this area, in 60,000, but we have no clean closes. We have no, I don't know, kind of like double bottom. We don't have much here. And that is also true, I believe, when you get to the month. I might make this. I was right. Really, on the month, there's really not a lot there either. Even a little bit lower at 58.8, you'd have these beautiful monthly closes, August, September, back tested in October, and you'll see prices just right above there. Just randomly about $1,200 above there. There is just not a lot of rhyme or reason for this bounce, and my only guess, my only hopium, is that it has to do with this line. Even the 200 weekly moving average wasn't tested on this move. Probably should have shown that when I had the week up. Wow. I got all my marbles mixed up earlier. That was quite a message to get directly before streaming. Even the 200 week moving average is like 58,000. So it really puts into context just how random this wick is. There's not a lot. There's no real reason outside of this trend line. That is my big picture here. This trend line is the only thing that I can find that suggested this bounce. So here we are. Will this trend line hold forever and be the ultimate long signal? Probably not, guys. Unlikely. However, until proven otherwise, I think that we do use it as a tool. And actually, I'll say, unfortunately, it's pretty much impossible that this trend line never breaks, simply because it is a logarithmic trend line. All logarithmic trend lines will break eventually because it really quickly goes to infinity. That's the problem. You know, you get all the way out here and you're just at like infinity. So it'll break someday, but for now, I think it is at least tradable. And when we zoom into price, this is where it gets spicy in my book. There we are, trading below this level for a total of 20 minutes, 15 minutes before finding buyers, bouncing back up, moving back up to resistance. I think that this is a good spot. I think it's a decent spot to have found support. The bigger question, and the unfortunately, I guess the only question that matters here is how high do we go? And can we even get back to a price that will matter, that will get us into some other trend? How can we break this downtrend? How can we say confidently that we are so back in all caps with no satire, no rage baiting, and start feeling bullish again? Well, those numbers are rough to get to. Those are some really rough numbers. But let's look at them now. So we have a lot of room to the upside where virtually nothing has changed, unfortunately. All the way back to 80K, and we are just back to the low of November. Moving back to that low, you can see here on the day, was really not tested, broke through, didn't see price tag it, then fall further, just fell pretty inefficiently down. To return to 80.5 is probably not even a hard task for this market to do. This would be a simple lost support tested as resistance. There are almost certainly profit takers waiting at this level to get out of underwater positions. That is unfortunate. That is unfortunate, but it does give us at least an upside target to look for a bounce. You'll find that this is roughly the 618 of the whole move. I put that really sloppily, roughly the 618. There's some good confluence sitting here at 80.5. We can also flip over to CME, and we'll find that we have a CME gap right at this same level. There is a lot going on this chart that would look for this level, that would look for this to at least be tested, even if it's rejected. On a rejection, things get really ugly, and that's the scary and shitty part of this whole thing. You guys even may have seen that over the weekend and Friday. Where is this? Should have pulled this up. Watch your screens, it's going white. Too late. You may have even seen that we have hit extreme fear, and we even had a lower reading the day before. It hit a 5. 5 on the fear and greed index. As much shit as we give this indicator, and it has earned it. It has been not that great over the last few years. As much as we give it, that is meaningful. That is something. There has been, honestly, I don't believe there's ever been a time where fear and greed has gone lower than 5. I don't think in the entire history of it. In 2019, I can't even click it here, like August, you can see this really low reading. I believe it's a 5. It might even be a 6. I don't remember it ever being lower than 5. And I think I only remember it being around 5 once or twice ever. Yeah, here we go. Here's a 6. I wish you could zoom in easier here, or at least like download these data points. Regardless, you will never find a time in Bitcoin's history where this rating went this low and it not be at least close to the bottom. I mean, June of 22, this is roughly August of 19. For this entire cycle, we went nowhere near it, really. I think we hit like a 10 in February. This has been pretty consistent at marking that the bottom was close. So I think an interesting part of this is that 5 and even the 7 rating weren't actually at the lowest prices. You would expect maybe down here on Friday's close to have been the worst. I think it was, or Thursday's close to have been the worst. I think it really was like Friday's close that we got the highest rating. So you can see that even this sentiment indicator is picking up on what I was suggesting here, that the upside is where this gets scary. It's where it gets serious. There is possibilities. It's not off the table that we can't blast past 80K, even retake 100 and start an uptrend. It would be unusual. It wouldn't really fit the history of Bitcoin. It's probably not the most probable outcome, but it exists. The issue is that it is a scarier concept to watch Bitcoin float back up or attempt to rally and fail. This is the hardest time, I think, in all of these cycles, is when you have a big move in one direction and pretty much everyone's like, hurting to long or short. And then the reversal. The reversal is so freaking stressful because it's usually slower than you want it to be. You have so much more uncertainty. You have like that gut feeling of it's like grinding of like maybe loss of optimism or hopelessness. And the fear and greed indicator reflected that. That's something that was really cool. It was not the lowest close. It was not the lowest price. It was actually like after we had recovered a little bit that we got these crazy low readings. And that reflects what I was saying. The hard part is the way up. So we have some confluence at 80.5. I think that this is a perfectly reasonable place to look to take profit on a long. If you somehow caught the knife down here, well done. I'm sure somebody did. 80.5 up to like 81. Like I said, we have the 618 retracement of this move. We have the previous support untested. We have the CME gap. But 80.5 gets us literally nowhere. That would just be a SR flip. And in fact, a rejection here, I think would definitely tip the favor of at least retesting our low from February, but almost certainly breaking it and looking lower. It probably would take a lot more time than the way I just drew it. But without being able to pass even a deep retracement of this move, yeah, we're nowhere decent. We can continue looking upwards. So we have 80.5. I think that right here, 98K. I can't believe we never made it up here. 98K is probably the place now to look. There's no guarantee that we'll get there. But if we do, this would be so reminiscent of many kind of bearish periods in Bitcoin. Say like 2019, before March, before the COVID crash, we had like a test of 10.5 and basically did a move like this, crawled back up, and as soon as we got there, I remember going short because this would be kind of the end of the line. It's like a double top here is another bear market scenario, but it's a great hedging position because meaningful moves beyond that start to suggest an uptrend. The odds of 98K, I'd say less. I would honestly say less than 50, probably like 40. I would think 80.5, we're going to be at like 65, 70% odds of like reaching there. 98, I don't know, like 40. And even then, I feel like we're still not really anywhere. This has been such a savage move to the downside that the only thing that can really change this would be a new all-time high. That's obvious. Or a move that probably would take months. Something where we do move up to that 100K. It could look like this, coming back down to 80, moving higher. Could look like that. Yes, it could be like this as well. Kind of a diagonal top. What was I saying? Oh yeah, we could start up trends this way. We can do stuff like this, but man, it's hard to bet that. It almost makes me bullish because I'm saying that. I rarely feel that way. That's like, man, it's really hard to bet bullish at all. There's just like not a lot going on. It seems like we have only obstacles in front of us and then like nothing below us. That is truly how it feels, especially being so close to the 200-week moving average. It would be very strange not to test it. Wouldn't that be interesting? Max pain. What about this max pain scenario? Bottom is in and now we go back up. That's some good hopium. That'd be some good hopium. Bottom is in. Just like floats up. We don't test the 200-week. Maybe not even floats up. Maybe like half a year of this. Wow, this would be so shitty. I think we would have to become a silver and gold channel. What if we had like a half a year of this? And then finally in Q4, it's like, we go up. That would be the most ridiculous. Bitcoin, don't you dare do that. Stay spicy. Just keep making these moves, even if it's downward. So that is how I view this chart at this point. 80.5, great place to look to close a position. Maybe open a short. Stop would probably be obviously like 98. 98 would be a great hedge. I will certainly look to hedge something if we retap 98 before losing this low. But enough about upsides for now because, well, probably not happening anytime soon. Knock on wood. I'd love to be wrong here. Let's look at CME. This is actually really cool. I didn't notice this or even see this until today. until right now with you guys. Did not look at charts that much this weekend. Check this out. Friday's move. We actually have no new gap here from the CME Open. Friday's move. What? Didn't fill this gap. This gap was down to 59.8 and it traded down to just exactly 60K. Weird. That's very weird. What the hell? CME, why don't you just close that gap? Why are you being a bitch? That remains open. That's surprising. I'm not even sure what to like interpret with that. I'm surprised that wick went directly to the open. Did not fill 84 last week. Still have a gap up here. It certainly looks like shit, doesn't it? Wow, Bitcoin. You're so cool, man. You're so cool. I'm like just like a scorned lover. Like, what the fuck, Bitcoin? Just do something. Be cool again. But, I don't know. I lost my train of thought about stuff. That CME gap is bonkers. Still looking at the same thing on low time frames. Lows are coming up. Top is flat. This looks like something that wants to break to the upside to me. Logical upside, 80.5. No kind of fibs pointing there or anything. What is up, 𝐒𝐴_Vlogs, my guy? First subscriber. Tough times. Tough times. We've had some crazy freaking streams, though, over the last few weeks. I'm down for like a chiller vibe today. We have had some wild streams. Check this out. Look at that. February 5th, 30K, one of our biggest streams. Before that, 8,000, 10,000, 19,000, 26,000. Like, we have had wild streams the last few weeks. I'm cool for it to just chill for today, because I have a feeling by the end of the week, Lord knows what will happen. Like, Lord knows. Admit it, Tom, we're going down. I mean, to be honest, 𝐂𝐴𝐻 𝐕𝐢𝐼, I have, throughout most of this, not been blindly bullish through most of this. I've always presented the bull case of if these things continue. Like, this was looking good. This was looking good. We were looking for a move. But even back here, I wasn't being very bullish. I was saying, okay, I think we get a breakout to like 105 and then down is the likely scenario. I have been unlike myself, actually. I have been un-Tom Crown-like. Like I've been saying, I'm a perma bull, but price goes down. And I haven't been bullish in the short term for a while. This is the best shot at a bounce that we've had. But man, like I said, it's just obstacles above. And it doesn't feel like there is really momentum below. Like, it doesn't feel like we have much to look forward to. The 200-week moving average holding as support is not a great bet. Before the last bear market, before 2022, it was. I mean, pre-22, the 200-week moving average was the shit. It caught the bottom of the bear market in 2018. It caught basically the bottom close of the move in March, and we lost it. We just, for the first time ever, just dumped through it and stayed below it for a long time. 200-something days. That's lower than current price, 58K. Logical, easy assumption that we're gonna trade lower than the 200-week this cycle, right? I haven't been super bullish. I have been willing to entertain the possibility of bullishness, but I'll be damned. The 1200 daily moving average, that seems silly to even track. 1200. Why is that even it? Why do I even have that one? I don't know. But this move is exactly to the 1200 daily. Boom, there we are. Another piece of random mass confluence. Huh. Weird that the 1200 day. Oh, because, yeah, the 1200 day is less than the 200 week. because the 200 week would be 1,400. You got to be careful. That's why whenever I've pointed this out to you guys a lot, and whenever you see it on like Twitter or YouTube, people are like, oh, Bitcoin just hit the 420 MA on the 4-day time frame. And it's like, dude, that's just gibberish. That's gibberish. You can always find a moving average that's that price, unless you're like way off into outer space price discovery. I've been decently bearish here on this channel. Well, very bearish for me on this channel. In the 7 years I've done this, I got pretty, like, when I say bearish, like I said, for me, back here, it's been like 2 months. Remember, guys, I was talking about the weekly twist, and I said, when the week twists is when I'll be like, okay, we're almost certainly in a bear market. This has been a signal that I've watched happen twice in cycles, and both times it didn't call the top of the market, but both times it was a great indicator of more to come. We had that happen in 2017. We had it happen in 2021 or 22, whatever. And as soon as that happened, and even weeks before it, because we had the cloud just get thinner and thinner and thinner, I said, this looks bad. This is not great. Not great at all. Rocked us. Rocked us like a hurricane. Or rocked me like a hurricane. I didn't even pull up silver. The good news is that Bitcoin is down 50% from its high, which is not great news. Obviously, it's recovered a little bit. It's like 47. But silver, the good news is that we are not alone in our misery. Silver, I think, looks worse than Bitcoin. Bitcoin went down 50% since October, like 3 months, 4 months. Silver went down 48% in 6 days. Is put in lower lows and lower highs after like the record crashing candle. Lower highs, lower lows. Now, it's really not good news. I don't want things to go down for other people either. More of a joke there, but like, dudes, this looks really bad. Does anyone think silver looks good? We've seen things recover. And if you look even at October, like this kind of move is somewhat similar. You get like a really big move down, lower highs, lower lows, but it does recover. But mind you, this was right under all-time high. Now this is happening at more than double the all-time high price. A lot less liquidity, a lot less support, a lot less buyers. Buyers came in at this level. Sellers come in on the way down. I don't know. What's it look like compared to 19 Bitcoin? We can look at it. I've been seeing people compare, I think Benjamin Cohen talking about some factors between 19 and now. I don't know if I agree that it looks that much like 19, but we can look. Gold looks good. Silver, you think it looks, dude, for me, how is that good? It's good because it went up so much. I just feel like every time I have seen this happen in crypto, like in Bitcoin, I've been like, okay, yeah, this is going to bounce. This can go up. And this has always been the signal. And it was like, why didn't I pay attention to like the big candles and the failure of a trend? This can reverse. Silver can smack these words out of my mouth and make him age terribly. If it trades above 92, break 92 and things are looking very different for silver. Can bounce up, come back. Now you have like a head and shoulders move. But if you fail the high, like if silver's high is in for the week already, you're just looking at another lower high, and I think you're heading back to $50, which is a crazy fast retracement. It'd be like a month round tripping. I don't know. Market Cyber B. Market Cyber B looks pretty good on the day. I don't hate that. See some momentum building off this. Weekly still looks good. Maybe silver does look good still. Maybe I'm jaded. Maybe I'm just like a little pessimistic on markets right now. 92. Give me 92. I'll come back. So what does 2019 look like compared to today? So I don't think that there are many similarities at all when it comes to 19 to today. 19 was just like a baby 2017. You had all-time high, basically. You had like euphoric, expansive push. Kind of like maybe what we saw in silver. Maybe. That just gets chopped, right? Lower high, breaks it down, or breaks down from the lower high, continues, and just fails to ever return to any high. Just series a dozen lower highs into a breakdown. Pretty much what we saw on Bitcoin again in 2019. It was like lower highs, right? Lower highs, breakdown, lower high, still didn't come back. Lower high, breakdown. This was still a lower high, which was the crazy part. We came all the way back right before COVID. And this is the warning, I guess, from me at like 98K right now. This is the example I was talking about. It's like we turned 98K. Maybe we're doing this like similar, same thing. You got so close to breaking the downtrend, to putting in a higher high, but you rejected from the same price and you finished the move out. So does this look like today? I don't think so. I'm not sure how people are getting that or thinking that. Maybe I'm missing something. Maybe I had a few too many brewskis this weekend. The brain isn't functioning, but like I don't see it. I think some arguments I've seen, like if Cohen's talking about it, it wasn't about price action. It was about maybe manufacturing or I don't know, something else. We put this anywhere else and I don't see it. I don't see it. What I do see though, we've looked at it a bunch of times. Where'd you go? There we go. What it does look like is 2022, like identically. We've had to move the fractal around a little bit. We had to fit it a little bit, but it looks really damn similar to 22. I don't know why I'd make the 19 comparison. If it continues this 22-ish pattern, basically just looking for ranging to the right. Kind of like a failed recovery here. Lots of tight price action, some fake breakouts maybe to the upside, lower highs that then just send it to the next leg. It looks identical so far. Especially this part. Like, it's too obvious. I don't know how that could have played out. Typically, the too obvious move doesn't happen. Like, this is so crazy similar. You have like your high, you get this little failed rally, can or distribute down and crash. Yeah, I don't know. Unfortunately, this fractal can't tell us where price would go, but we don't need it to tell us where price would go. Like in the sense of we shouldn't use this to be like, look at the bottom of the pattern. That's going to be a 49. It's like that sort of bounce. That's not a good way to use these. A much smarter, easier way to do it is just look at the full retracement. Just look at the moves it made down and then look for those levels now. I hope this doesn't happen. I do have a feeling, it's really not even hopium. I do have a feeling that something weird happens in this market. The bull market, despite what people say of it, it was 15K to 122K. What are you complaining about? I'm complaining because it just wasn't like a Bitcoin bull run. And I do believe I can't shake the feeling that because this was so different, it's going to be different on the way down too. Maybe we could do this. Like I said, the comparison of 17 and 19 to today. Maybe we could say like, all right, 17's high and 19's high. We're kind of like, this was a move and this was its mini me, like its mini move. Maybe we look for something like that. Though, I mean, because I guess this is similar to this. People have been pointing that out. But I don't know how I would use that. How I would because it's like retested its low, but it's at a lower high. So like, it's like we're going to retest its high? I don't know. The monthly chart looks nothing like 22. I'd agree. The monthly chart looks like 22. Wait, the monthly chart. Would I agree? We'll see. So the thing about monthly charts is because it's such a long period of time, and the specific day of them opening and closing, it can be harder to like see pattern. That's why I usually do like the day for patterns. I would disagree that it doesn't look anything like 22. These months, the distribution up here at the all-time high was definitely different. There are things that are very different, and there are things that are very similar. The distribution up here is definitely unique. The move up in 20 is like totally unrelated to 2020 and 2023, 24, 25. The highs are still a similar concept though. It's still like high, higher, high. We still have that in the month. High, higher, high. Maybe you're looking at this and saying, well, we got 2 green candles here and then began falling. But you would be kind of just being deceived by the time frame here. That does still look similar. Despite not getting green candles, we had the move down, and then we have these low to high wicks, which are kind of masking this move. And in reality, they end up being like really similar through those wicks. I'd be careful kind of like counting and be like 3 months down. Now we have 5 months down. They're different. It's not quite, I just don't think that's like a great practice. Something we can take away is if they are very similar, then we're probably looking for at least a few months, maybe this year, where we're trading sideways, where we have kind of equal lows, maybe slightly higher lows, hold on for a quarter or two, into this another quarter before hitting that final low. Because that is what we saw in the previous run. We saw almost the entirety of the move baked in from all-time high, 75% down into June. Baked in. And then it took how long? 5 more months, technically like 6 more months, I'll say, another half a year to actually get to the bottom. So we did 75% down, and then it took 5 to 6 months just to get that ending 12%. So maybe we're looking for something like that in this run. That is valuable. That's tradable. It's actionable. Gives maybe a little relief from the stress. It's like, well, the bleeding will stop, and the bleeding will stop either way eventually. And if this repeats, we'll likely have a really shitty feeling time, but a warning of like months and months and months to get ready for potentially the final low if history repeats. What's up, Quinn? What's up, Queen? Am I okay? I'm okay. I'm good. Were you here at the beginning? You're asking about the beginning? Or for some other reason? Just because the markets suck? I'm doing okay through that. The quarters look different too. I'm doing okay through the market sucking. We've had some really good streams. That's jazzed me up, actually. For the last month. It's gotten me jazzed about streaming. Streaming was not fun, bros. Through like almost all of this. Well, all of this for sure. Some of this was spicy. Some of like right here was spicy. But like so much of this, so much of the last 4 years has been really brutal as a content creator. I'm really glad you guys have been here with me through it. I'm glad that I streamed through it. But like until somewhat recently, there have been times where I thought like, should I even stream? Like, what's the point? And of course, to connect with you guys, to be here with you guys. But like, you go live and you just lose subscribers. You'd have like no new people seeing your streams. It was very weird. It was a very strange time. I have an idea for a chart. What's up, Live Time? I see you subscribed. Welcome, brother. Herein, CA, Darth, Rocket Bomb. I missed a few. Got a few new names. What was it doing? Oh, yeah. I was going to do a little spiciness chart for you guys. So, like, crazy spicy. Like, crazy spice. I want to say like maybe somewhat like close to levels, but not actually at the same level spice for like 1 month. You should be a little less spicy. So the darker green they are, the more spicy they are. Or darker green, the more like the less opaque. So spiciest time ever. We'll say 2020 and 2021. Also equally insane spicy time down here in COVID. Easy. Interesting. Maybe the most spicy time ever was right here. Like these little moves when we first started streaming. I say little moves, these wild moves. These were hella crazy. Super, super spicy. And then what do we got? This whole run, it's like a month, 2-3 months total of spiciness. Then we had literally like bear market spice, meaning like interest levels all through here. There was a little spice. I got to get that last day in FTX. I'd say like most of this was like virtually nothing. I'll add a little FTX spice down there. And like here it is. This is why the whole cycle has felt weird. There used to be these massive periods of just insanity, of absolute insanity. I wasn't actually streaming back at this time. But of course I was watching Bitcoin. Very low interest right after that drop for a while. But you used to have these insane times, like multiple insane times in the run. 2019 insane, COVID crash insane, 2021's run up insane. We're talking like just each move, more hype, more energy, more traffic than the one before it. And then it just ended. Like it just ended. This entire cycle has had no hype. We can add a little tiny, not quite as green line here for like ETFs. There's like a moment of interest, like a week of interest there with ETFs. The pre-halving Bitcoin all-time high. Oh my God. And then just nothing, dude. There was like a month at the end of 24. That's it. This is why it's felt so different. There have just been, I don't know. If you disagree with this chart, let me know. Tell me what I missed. But like, this is it. We, of course, should put this over here, too. 2017, this was the craziest of times. I got lost. I got lost in what I was doing, what I was explaining, but it was fun to do. No one's gone on chain to see who dumped. You can't really tell, Ace. You can't. On-chain activity is, in my opinion, not just like a bad indicator. Sometimes you can see big Bitcoin moves before or during or after dumps. But dumps happen on exchange. They don't happen on chain. On chain can reflect it, but it does not have to. I would say it typically doesn't. It like beforehand, maybe in hindsight, you see things move around after. But yeah, no, not a big factor. And where it's coming from is, I don't think that there's like a singular thing of where it's coming from. People love to, you'll see it on Twitter all the time. It's like Binance just sold a bajillion. Binance is selling all the Bitcoin, or like the ETFs or whatever. And that's just like not how it works. It's like, that's just people. It's people and market makers and bots and whatever, like trading on exchanges. It's not Binance. It's not the ETFs. It's the customers of them. So I don't think it's systemic to one thing or one place. I wish it were that easy. Hey stud, what's up? NNFD, thank you, sir. Altcoins followed Bitcoin more loosely this cycle. Last cycle was 1-to-1. Yeah, altcoins just didn't follow Bitcoin at all this cycle. It was like the shittiest part of it. Let's see, you got a new core. Do people want to get more spice? Well, Mofker, you might have missed it, man. We've had spice. We've had some spice the last like 2-3 weeks. I was saying, we've had some really good streams. Yeah, we did get rugged. Bitcoin versus my subscribers, bro. Never in my wildest dreams when I started this, for real, in my wildest dreams, would I ever have thought that I would have more subscribers than Bitcoin's price. Like, I definitely never thought we'd beat it to 100K. Definitely never thought we'd beat it to 200K. Never knew I had eyeballs. Sometimes I do. On occasion. Want to know what happened on 10/10? Same. Something did. What I think happened in the bigger picture, like I don't know specifically what happened. Gotta keep sliding away from the desk. I don't know specifically what happened, but what did happen visibly is the insane volatility and the volume and insanity of that move absolutely wrecked some market makers. Some very big market makers, whatever you think of them, are really just like, institutional accounts, whatever, big accounts with lots of funds that provide liquidity. They just have orders high and low. They're basically the ones who create the spread on an exchange. And they don't, even though you think they do, they don't push the price up and down really. I'm sure there's been times in the past where it's happened, but like they don't do that. That happens through largely other factors. They want the price to remain sideways. They don't want it to go up or down. They want it, honestly, they want it to just remain at the same price forever. Ideally, market makers would like price to just trade sideways, because then they can just have orders high and orders low and let retail just bounce around in their little corridor, and they make profit with virtually no risk as price is sideways. When you have insane kind of, I'd say, unpredictable, kind of black swanish moves like October 10th, what happens is sometimes those market makers get wiped out. They are betting on this price action. The more volatility, the worse off market makers are 99% of the time. So on that move, certainly some big market makers got taken out. Absolutely. Some of them got stuck probably in crappy pairs of other coins or whatever. And so once the market recovered, they sold heavily to try to recoup those losses. And that was likely the downward pressure and like kind of the lack of bounce from alts. Any bounce was getting sold into as they got kind of like stuck on those moves downward. That for sure happened. I don't think that's what caused it. I'm not sure what, we have the story of some API issue, whatever. I don't know. But a result of it, definitely some very big market makers got liquidated, just like wrecked. Absolutely wrecked. Ooh. We haven't even looked at gold. Gold versus silver. Spicy ass chart here. We've been talking about silver topping out against gold, or gold bottoming out versus silver, since the end of last month. Ooh, on Thursday, I didn't look at this. On Thursday and Friday into this weekend, gold putting on more ground against silver, pushing up to resistance, pushing up to the 0.5 retrace. I'd say it's looking for another higher low and a push to this 75.17. This is a cool chart. This is a value that we have in crypto that many traders aren't going to really understand, is the pair trading. This is gold versus silver. This is its pretty much full history. And on the big day, we watched silver hit pretty much historic values against gold, overvalued. And we said the logical move is to reverse and move back towards, say, like the fair value between silver and gold, whatever that means. And that likely is somewhere around here. 75.1. So far, we've done pretty good. Hit 72.3. That's actually damn good. I don't think this is done. That week is crazy. Huge div. Whew. Every time this has been oversold on the month like it is, it's bounced hard. Let's see where gold's at. Gold is actually doing a little bit better. Doing a little better. Actually, a lot better. Hella better. Hella better. Gold has held on to that low. Silver traded down lower, right? We're looking at this for silver, maybe. Gold held that low, now retesting Wednesday's high. I like that. Maybe not looking for like a breakout this week necessarily, even though this looks very strong. I think it'd be more likely to see this. Bring up your lows. I would not be betting down on gold. Not be betting down on gold yet. Just it's fundamentally better off and different from silver. Lower low, lower high, higher low. Silver is just straight down. I think gold recovers back to its all-time high, and then silver like reverses and tries to catch up. Something like that. What's up, Stone? Sell off into close? It could be today. I think this week it is going to hang out here, though. It has a great recovery building. I think you see it come back down by like 4.8, higher low, come back up to like 5K, higher low, stair step it, and then could be the end of the week, could be could be end of the month, whatever. Like make that move back to all-time high. It's just fundamentally so much better off with the higher low. You look at silver, and it really is hard to justify bullishness. Without a break of 92, it is pure hopium, and I am a connoisseur of hopium. It's pure hopium that this is looking good until 90, 91, 92. You break the high, and then you can change it up. You can do all kinds of different stuff. But like until then, you just had blow off euphoric top. Everyone was yelling about silver, and then capitulation, wrecked, huge selling event, lower high. Like you just keep looking for your lows unless you can retake something there. Damn, F you silver. Probably still looks better than Bitcoin though. Still above its cloud, still like arguably looking for upside. Dude, look at how removed it is. That's crazy. Maybe I'm just a hater. I'm jealous. Ooh, look at this trend line. There's a trend line that sniped that exact top. Where did that trend line come from? Did it use the fib tool? Here we go. That's kind of crazy. Yeah, that's a little crazy. I'm not sure why I would ever like really be looking for this trend line, but pretty perfect. Pretty perfect touch. The bulls have given up. I don't know. I mean, who is bullish on this year? There's a poll. It's going to be real vague. Let's do that. This year's bullish or bearish. I don't even mean for crypto, just in general. Curious how many people are very bullish on this year. Like just 2026. How you feeling? And if you're feeling bullish, please share some of that bullishness with me. Let me know. Ooh, man, 20 dailies right there at 80.5 also. Man, we're going to 8.5. It's right there. Music, we can get some tunes. I was thrown off my game. For those of you who weren't here at the very beginning, we were like 2 minutes to go live, and I got a message that it was very stressful. Might have to move by like April. It's the middle of February. I just moved. It's pretty annoying. So I'm a little out of it. Kind of got thrown off my game in the beginning. Killing hopes and dreams are easy, it seems. Yeah. I'll tell you, you guys answer how you want, but I do not. I don't know. I don't view this year as one that I think is going to be super bullish. Do not. Not it. Just like not for Bitcoin. Just on the year. Let me see. Music. Let me not blast your speakers here. Okay. I'd have to move it, dude. I don't even know. I didn't even have time to like process it. It certainly is out of the blue, though. it's like, so I rent this house and moved in the end of 24. So it's been over a year, but it hasn't been like 2 years. And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna be here like 5 years, whatever, I don't know. And they like just had a message. Literally, I had everything set for the live. I was in the bathroom, going to the bathroom. I got a text, and it's like something about like their family is moving back and they want to live here. And it's like they're gonna be back in like April 1st. I was like, had a little mini heart attack. Like, what? Out of nowhere. They were just like, I just saw them 2 days ago. Didn't say anything. I don't know. Honestly, man, like I would be fine living somewhere else. I'm not like married to this house, but the fact that it's like, okay, it's February 10th, let's say. You got like half of February and then March, and then by the end of the March, you need to be moved in somewhere else, is crazy talk, dude. I haven't looked at housing, looked at apartment. You know what I mean? Like zero prep, not even to like include the whole getting everything out of this damn house. It's so much shit, and moving it all into another house is such a task. I don't know. That threw me off pretty hard. Monopoly. What time frames have the most success trading? The bigger, for me, the bigger the better. The lower the time frame, the less success I've had in my days of trading. I think that's a pretty good rule of thumb. Then you get to say, well, what time frames do you trade? Like I like, obviously not over the last few weeks, but trading like inside weeks, like if a week closes down, looking for the next week to retest the open of the week prior, vice versa. If a week closes up, looking forward to retest the low of the week before. Moves like that are pretty consistent. Last few weeks would not have worked, obviously, for Bitcoin. But for most of this, it worked pretty well. You do the same with months, with quarters. I mean, obviously, you can even do it with days. But the lower the time frame, the worse success I've had. The less reliable, the more kind of like bullshit that happens. Shit sucks. Yeah, I'll be all right. I mean, I'll be fine. It's really just because I have had zero time to process it and deal with it. You've moved so many times in 10 years, dude. I hate it. Moving is one of my least favorite activities. It's all stress and like no payoff. Bitcoin hasn't moved. What do I think of silver? I've gone over a good amount of silver here. Of course, I'm always willing to talk about it more. I do not like silver right now. I don't like it. Not to say it is unsalvageable, doom, but silver needs to make it back to 92. If silver does not make it to 92, it looks terrible. This all-time high looks terrible. Like, this was very reminiscent of Bitcoin tops, crypto tops. Really euphoric move up, huge move down. The reason I don't love it is, look at the bounce. Silver has continued to put in more lows. Hit a new low on Thursday. It only made it to like 90, which is actually kind of around where we're looking, before trading lower. It's trending up right now. That's awesome. But without breaking past 90, you're still just putting in lower highs and looking for further lows. I think if you break down from here, if you break down from last week's low, I don't know if it's like that. I don't know if it's that serious, just last week's low, but if it fails to hit 92 and it's still continuing this downtrend, I think you're very reasonably looking for a back test of the previous high. I've been saying that I think this is going to happen anyway, all the way up, and really ever since it broke that high, I was like, it's probably going to be an entry there eventually. I think that's the logical move. 92 can take that off the table. You can easily see nice little inverted, having shoulders paying out here, bring you back up to your highs. But for now, silver is not along for me. Got stopped out there. That's lame. Not a long for me. Another factor on that, it's not just the silver chart, but silver versus gold, which I also just looked at. I don't think gold, silver, I don't think that this chart is done either. It could be. Could be. But I don't think that gold is done taking value proportionally from silver yet. Even up here at 95, 75, I'm not super convinced. Honestly, I think this is what's going to happen. Probably won't look exactly like this, but I think gold, silver hit the overvalued line. I think it bounced. I think it's making its way back to this trend. Be like a little higher than 75, like 80. Obviously, what happens there can change it and go back over to overvalued. But I can see this returning to this trend line and then selling back off. And maybe that's when silver gets its move up again. Gold kind of floats up above, back to its all-time high. Maybe goes higher. Doesn't go crazy. Silver is still stuck under its all-time high as this like revaluation happens. This has been a really good call so far. It did hit the 0.5 retrace. And as this happened, I was like, well, I feel confident it'll come up here. Can't really tell what's going to happen after that. We did hit the first retrace here. Got very close to the 618. So that could be it. I kind of just don't think so. Maybe that's just a hunch. It's like my gut feeling, which is not a good thing to go on. You should not go on gut feelings, especially not other people's gut feelings. Get my drugs from Amsterdam. I think Bitcoin's moving up. Drugs from Amsterdam. I think this is what's happening here. Damn. I don't know if it's the heat or what. I just like don't feel comfortable. I don't feel comfortable in my own skin today. It's probably the stress. I forgot how stressed I was. I've de-stressed since that since the start of the stream, but yeah. Silver is gonna go to a lifetime high. It's going all the way to the high. I hope so, man. I hope so for you, for everybody. Don't love it. An hourly time frame. 4 hours, still climbing. Building some weird divergences though. It's not bad. Hit a higher high off of that. I don't know. This is I just feel like I've learned my lesson. And I finally see it in real time. The Euphoria high gets sold off. And this was always me betting on the reversal, betting on it flying back up to all-time highs. And I just watched the markets slap me in the face for that. That all changes. I will totally reverse my opinion on silver. Just get back up to like 92. Hit 92. Retest the high, break the high. Then all of this can be behind you. I run. Hold up. Oh. Make sure you're smashing the likes and subscribing, guys. Keep the hype up. The hype. Bitcoin, though, might be making for a move here. Chocolate munchies. You need to unplug me too, bro. I need to. Whoa, when did this happen? When did I start flying out on the chart? I gotta deal with this stupid house stuff. Dow at all-time high. Okay. Pull up some stonks. Ooh, SPX, dude. I still don't know. I still don't know how I feel about this short. Which, I mean, like, take your pick. I feel like it's dicked around at this level for a long ass time, though. Hit a lower low. This is SPX. Wow. Must be nice. Must be nice. DJI. Stocks are weird. Stock indices always look so like just super algorithmically traded to me. They paint these long patterns of like ascending channels or like whatever gibberish, right? Like this, and they just stay in them. Like stay in them forever. Eventually they crash out, but like look at this right now. It's like all-time high is just following the median line, following it up. All-time high 50,000. What's the year to date? %. I mean, hey, it's better than down. Closed last year 12, 12, 13. 22 is down, 13. Yeah. Do we have... At least I don't even have my extensions up here. $51 too. Bring that bass back. Bass back. I mean, this is getting up there. It is getting like a little toppy on these. 48K was the measured move from 22. Also the measured move from here. I don't know. Kind of feels like wouldn't 50K be the top? There's so many extensions there. There's so many measured move targets there. It's a beautiful 50,000. You're right here at the middle line. I don't know. Maybe it's a short. I'm not shorting it. I'm not shorting stocks at all-time high. Damn. Especially not in midterm year. It's pretty crazy though. It would not surprise me to see them reverse. Bitcoin, could you take a tip from your friends over there at the stocks? Go ahead. Go up. Go up. Anything happen here? Nat gas. What's Nat gas doing? Ethereum crossing 21. A lot of alerts. Ooh, did Coinbase? Did it bounce at the exact price that it bounced at the last 2 times? Maybe. I feel like that's a short. $2.11. Feels like all the crypto stuff smacked support together. MicroStrategy didn't quite trade to 100. Probably still in this future. $150, $170. Ooh, dollar. Dollar's in trouble. Dollar had some like crazy bounces from Goblin Town the end of January. So he rejected into Friday's close. Lower highs again. Where's everything's going down? Where's it going? Like if everything's going down, where's the money going? I guess it's all going to the Dow. I guess. PayPal, you're so cooked. Damn, Sol hit A70. 94. Looking back test of 94. Ooh. ASML maybe swerving us here. Maybe getting bids early, heading back to 1450. It breaks its high at 1500. 1665. Bitcoin Cash still looking strong, even though it told me to F off. It said your long is wrecked. Dominance unraveling a little lower low. Bitcoin dominance has given us just no clues for months now. Just 0 clues. Just traded sideways. Okay, Ethereum. Ethereum slapping 1750 over the weekend on Friday. Back to 2150. Looking to test resistance. Break 2150 probably back to 2500. 2600. FBTC looks like death. I guess we'll have a new all-time high in the SPX this week. Kind of looks like it. Hype hit an all-time high versus Bitcoin, and it looks like it filled this position on Sunday. They're pulling back. Rejected from all-time high. It's like impossible for me to bet that it'll go to a new all-time high. It's insane that it went to an all-time high against Bitcoin at all in February. Tether dominance. 9%. I doubt this. Probably looking for 9.5 over the next, I don't know, few weeks. This pullback maybe signaling a little relief rally across crypto markets. Silver might break out right now. Can you do it, little bud? Are you going to 92 today? Maybe. Bitcoin's doing nothing. Been live an hour and 15. Been trying to do my best. Today's a weird day. Sorry for anybody tuning in for the first time today. I just got like weird news as I was going live, and I've been struggling to focus. My ADD has been winning today. Bitcoin looking okay. $60,001. Okay. Yeah. I think we should wrap it. I love you guys for showing up today. I know it's not as spicy. I gotta deal with this house shit. Apparently, I might have to start packing. Goddamn. I don't know. I'll keep you guys updated. I appreciate you tuning in. Please subscribe, hit like, jump to the Discord, discord.gg/TomCrown. Sign up with our partners in the video description below, our exchange partners, FEMEX, BYD, FI. You can trade on those exchanges from anywhere. No restrictions. They're great exchanges. All the tools, all the leverage, all the pairs that you could use, you could need. If you sign up using my links, not only will you help support the stream, but you'll also get some special roles in the Discord. Very fancy. Costs you nothing. If you're looking for a new place to trade, get off MEXC and shit. Get on to these guys. I'm gonna be live on Wednesday at the latest. This is a busy week for me, but if we see some spice, see a little breakout here. I think we're gonna see a breakout now in silver. I think silver is gonna take that swing for 92. We'll see how far it can get. That looks like it's gonna happen today. Bitcoin as well. I think looking for like 80.5 in the shorter term. But if we get a big move on either, we'll crank up a stream again. Hopefully I can get some of this shit taken care of today.